I want to finish Don't Live Life in Fear, Part 2. Just like Sister Jan was saying, she was crying because fear can set in, Jan. Whenever you have a mountaintop experience, the devil will be waiting for you when you come off the mountain. But we got to get out of the habit of just trusting God for one thing. I trust God for all things. I don't live from paycheck to paycheck. I live from blessing to blessing. Yes. And we all should live from blessing to blessing. And a lot of us don't realize God don't only just bless you with finances, but He give you favor with people. Yes. And a lot of times we don't understand what God is doing in our life. And whatever God does, He does it for a reason. Right. The Bible do not waste words. Whatever, if it's in the Bible, it's there for a reason. Right. Y'all remember how I presented the lesson to y'all, talked about the different types of messages, the topical, the textual, and the expository preaching. A lot of times when people read the Bible, they come with baggage reading the Bible. They already got a hunch of what they already think that the Bible should say. You taking the anointing out of the Word of God. You need to let the Bible read you. You need to, whenever you study the Word, whenever you study the original text, when you find out, that's why I tell people, get the Bible with the Hebrew text dictionary so you can look up certain words, because certain words was put there to complete a sentence. Because the Bible is written in Greek and Hebrew, and I say there's 12,000 words in Greek and Hebrew, but there's only 6,000 words in English. So when King James Version of the Bible, he took 12,000 words and converted them to 6,000 words. So certain words in the Bible, it means it's the same word, but it means something different. A perfect word, Psalms 37, verse 23 said, the steps of a good man has been ordered by the Lord. And we know that the Bible said there's none good, no, not one. See, good was put there such a time to complete a sentence. But good wasn't in the original text. The word good in the Greek, it's a word called Gerber, G-E-B-R-E. A word gabar. The word Gerber means it means a courageous person, a person that's brave. And Gerber was what you call a military terminology. That's where they get their terminology. We're looking for a few good men. Yeah. In other words, we're looking for a few brave men who's willing to die for a good cause. Whenever you was willing to die for a good cause, you went down as a good man. But in the Bible, it just said good, but it don't tell you what the word good means. But when you do word study, it kind of opens up the text so you can get truth out the text. I talked about the three things that happens when we go through your valley. The first thing happens, you really find out who your real friends are when you're going through a valley. The second thing, you find out who the real you are. Because some things you do on the mountaintop that you do different in your valley. You know, the valley will find out who you are, what you're capable of doing, how much you can take. And thirdly, a valley will show you who your real God is, who you run to for help. Is it for people or your money or what you depend on? For what you depend on is your God. Your God can be your job because you depend on it so much. You need to realize a job is just a channel. A job is not the source. A job is a channel for which God used to flow a blessing to you. Because the Bible says, man don't work. If you don't work, he don't eat. In other words, if you're not working, you're eating for free. You eating unauthorized food. But today I want to talk about Don't Live Life in Fear, Part 2. I talked about you have to accept the reality of your valley. You have to accept the reality of your valley because it was ordered by God. The valley will show you three things. We talked about that. Once you accept the reality of your valley, now, the second thing I want to talk about, you need to announce your response to your valley. There should be a response to your valley from you. There should be a response. Should be a response Somebody said, what's your response?
What's your response
to your valley? Because Twanisha, a lot of people respond different. Remember I talked about different response to hot water? 3 different items. Each of them responds differently. Everybody responds differently to a valley experience. Because you put eggs in a boiling hot water, it becomes a hard boiled egg. You put vegetables in boiling hot water, they become soft and mushy. You put coffee in boiling hot water, it flavors the house. So what's your response to your valley? How would you respond when you become a hard-boiled egg? Because some people just get hard and they get worse off than where they was before. The 7 other demons come back. They don't come back the same. They come back worse off. That's why I always be careful about when people say I've been delivered from something. Because some people that say they've been delivered, they just be a headache somewhere else in their life. You get a person that was on drugs, Sister Glover, then you get them in church, they worry, they can worry the hell out of you. Right. Because they haven't picked up nothing that can take the place out of that searching for drugs. So what they do, they start begging people for money. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
So you got to be careful about what you replace it with, because sometimes you need to replace it with something that's going to keep you busy. People that stop drinking. One of the managers at Frito-Lay, he used to be a chain smoker. He stopped smoking, now he bought up everything. All of the ink pens on his desk are ate up.
Wow.
I hate to go off because everything around him was ate up. He bite on his glass. So you need to replace it something with something positive. Because sometimes you can bring your annoying behavior and it take the place of your bad behavior. And you just take it out on something else.
Yeah.
Some people who used to be abusive physically, they begin to be abusive with other things in life. So you need to announce your response to your valley. Since you are in your valley, how will you respond? It's 3 responses you need to do. The first response is in our Bible. The first thing you need to do when you're in your valley, Terrell, you need to walk through it. You need to walk through your valley. Most people want to run through it because you want it to get over. You want it to be over. See, a lot of people don't like to stay in the valley. They want that event to get over it. Are y'all listening to me? Yes. You got to walk through your valley because some people prefer to run through that event. You want to hurry up and get it over with. When you run, you make too many mistakes because you're trying to get out of something. When you run, you fall faster. But when you need to walk, because when you walk through your valley, God can show you more.
Amen.
God can show you more while you're walking through your valley.
Yeah.
Because anytime God puts you in the valley, He wants you to see something. Because if you're in your valley and you don't see what God is showing you, He keep you in the valley. And you constantly trying to get out the valley, but you're not seeing what God is trying to show you. When you in your lack valley, what is God showing you? He may be showing you how to manage your money better.
Good.
See, a lot of people want to overlook that part. When you're in a relationship, you need to, God may be keep you in a certain relationship to stay bad because He may be showing you what you're doing wrong. But if you want to rush through it, you'll never see what you're doing wrong. So everybody want to rush through bad situation, but God said, no, you're going to walk through your valley because I'm going to show you something while you're in it. What's the lesson? What's the lesson that God is going to teach you while you're walking through your valley? Because you're trying to help them get out of it. Sometimes it takes some of us a long time to see what God's trying to show us. Yes. And some people can see it as soon as they get in their valley. Others, it may take years to find out what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Because by walking, that don't mean you standing still. You walking. You ain't standing still. You progressing. Don't run through something. Walk through it. He wants you to walk through it. You're still moving forward, but you're not moving at the rate you think you should be moving. You may be moving slow, but you're moving. And it means you're going somewhere because some people are in a hurry to go nowhere. Some people in a rush to go nowhere. I'm reminded that I was in the Frito-Lay truck, and this person zoomed around me at the light. He zoomed right to the parking lot, trying to get in front of me. I'm in the Frito-Lay truck. We were going right to the same grocery store. Then I'm in there putting my chips on the shelf, and they shopping. I'm in the grocery store at the same time as you. You about to get killed to be in the same place that we in together. And sometimes walking can mean that you're leaving some folk behind. Some things you got to walk away from,
Amen.
Not run away from. You have to walk away from. Because when you run from it, it still may be on your mind. A lot of you running from your issues. When you should walk away from your issue, then you know exactly what you're walking away from. But when you run from it, you're still not over it. Because you're running, so it won't be in sight, but it's still on your mind.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because everybody that started with you wasn't designed for them to stay with you. You trying to carry some folk with you that's bringing you down. You telling too many people, you letting too many people park on your mind.
Wow.
Because that's a red zone. And the wrong people are parked on your mind. You need to either write them a ticket or get them impounded out of your mind. And when you get somebody impounded off your mind, that means they're going to stay in the impound for 30 days. You need to get that person off your mind for 30 days and give you enough time to recuperate. And you need to tell that person, you can't park on my mind.
You can't park on my mind.
It's a red zone. Romans 8:37 says, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Hupakandos. Hupa means under. Condos means that it's the idea of people in the Olympics, Sister Tanner, running and they scaling up a mountain. Some would fall by the wayside. Some would get almost to the top and quit. But if you made it to the top, they will hold your hands up and say, you are a conqueror. But what they would do, they would tell that person to go back down to the foot of the mountain and they would put some weight on them. Then they'd tell them and run back up the mountain. And what would happen, some people would get tired and they would stop halfway. Then you got some other people who be running too fast and they get tired and they give up. But then you got some people who would pace themselves under the weight while they're going up the mountain. When they get to the top, they would raise their hands up and say, you know what, you more than a conqueror because you went up the mountain with weight on you. And some people running the race with weight on them. Some people may have to hold everything on their own. But most of you don't want to run with everything on you because you think it's too much weight on you. But God said, if you run this race with a lot of weight on you, you become more than a conqueror.
Amen.
A lot of people don't want to be more than a conqueror. They just want to conquer something. I don't know about you. Look at your neighbor and say, I want to be more than a conqueror.
I want to be more than a conqueror.
I don't want to just run up the mountain, Sister Tanner. I want to be able to put some weight on me and run up the mountain.
Right, put your weight on it.
Put your weight on it.
Don't play with it.
Some of you get almost to the top and you give up. But could you make it with a load on you? Could y'all make it with a load on you? Most of y'all running by yourself and y'all don't have no load. The minute y'all get a little load, y'all give up. Y'all have no stick-to-itness.
Come on,
And
God.
the minute y'all get too much weight on you, the first thing you do, you want to exit.
Get me out of this.
You need to pace yourself while you under load. And a lot of times, when you run, why do you think when runners run, they have on the lightest clothes as possible? Because they don't want nothing to wear them down. So what they got to do, when you practicing, you practice with weight. And when you practice enough with weight, when you actually run the actual real race, it becomes easier because
You train well.
and while you're in your valley, that's why God putting so much weight on you. because you just practicing.
Come on.
Anybody remember back in the days when they would bring a simulator to the school and teach you how to drive?
Come on.
It was called a simulator. It wasn't the actual. You wasn't actually driving. You was in a simulator.
Yeah.
And sometimes God, what you're going through, Keisha, is just a simulator. And y'all giving up doing the simulation.
Yeah.
Let me stop. Let me stop the part. I'm gonna get back to my lesson. It's a lot of walking. Don't need to do no more walking. Need to be no more walking. If they're gonna stand here, stand here. They're gonna stay out there, stay out there. Because I'm teaching a lesson. They doctors. If somebody get brain surgery, if they ain't got brain surgery, it's not an emergency. They just stay put. Because this is the lesson that I need people to get. This is gonna bless somebody. I know how the devil works. He'll try to distract you. And this word is to help somebody. And a lot of times, God has He has you in a simulator.
Yes.
Just so you can practice your driving skill. So if you actually have a crash, you won't be actually having a crash.
Talk, Doc.
Sister Tanner, you actually running into something that's not real. But people get panicked doing this simulation. God can't put no real weight on you. He putting the artificial weight on you.
And you trip.
And you can't handle the artificial weight that he putting on you. Because artificial weight is sandbags.
Come on.
That ain't real weight. It just they try to equal the weight. Like the iron weight, they try to put the sand in to equal the real weight.
It just feels.
Yeah, you know, but sometimes he gonna give you a better job, but he give you not the real job. He don't give you the real job just to see how you gonna handle the little job. If you can't handle the little job, how you gonna bless you with a better job?
Come on.
We want a better job, but we can't handle the.
Yes.
Come on, Doc.
Number one, you should walk through your valley. Secondly, you should not worry through your valley.
Good stuff, Doc.
Because you can go through a valley, but you constantly worrying. He don't want you to worry while you're going through your valley.
Oh.
He said, I will fear no evil.
Yeah.
That means evil is trying to make you fear.
Yeah.
And Jan, sometimes when you get a ticket, that's something that's evil that's trying to make you doubt God.
Yeah.
And what you start doing, you start crying because that's the evil that the Satan trying to put in your life to make you fear.
Yeah.
He don't want you to worry while you're in your valley.
Yes.
Because fear messes you up, and fear is of the devil. Fear cancels your vision. Fear makes you turn in your resume. Fear gives you ulcers in your stomach. Fear puts tears in your eyes. Fear clogs up your spiritual ear. That's why you think you're hearing from God. The devil is speaking to you. And you hear that voice louder because that ain't God speaking. That's what you want to hear. Some people say, I heard from God. No, that's what you wanted to hear. Sometimes God will speak. He may speak something that you don't want to hear. So you think it's of God because God ain't going to speak quick. He's going to take his time to see how you're going to react while you're going through it. Fear causes your knees to start knocking. Fear causes weakness. Fear causes you to depend on yourself and not God. Fear and faith don't mix together. If fear is there, then faith ain't there. If faith is there, that means fear is not there. We walk by sight. Did nobody correct me? We walk by faith, not by sight. Because sight will have you filling out the application for the job. But faith will have you cashing your first check.
Ooh.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
Sight
receive
will
it.
have you applying for the credit. But faith will have you driving a car. Sight will have you applying for the home loan. But faith will have you moving into the house. Sight will have you going up for surgery. Faith will have you back home healed.
Amen.
Somebody say, I will fear no evil.
I will fear no evil.
Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. You know how you look up certain things in the Bible? You know, there's a book that's called All of the Therefores in the Bible. How many I ams in the Bible? Don't you know there are 365 fear nots in the Bible? That went over somebody here.
Come on.
One for every
There
day.
are 365 fear nots in the Bible.
That's good.
That means there's a fear not for every day of the week.
Yeah.
That's good.
If you thought you used up your fear not for the day, you have another fear not for tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Amen.
I'm saying today you say, I'm a fear not. Tomorrow you have another fear not waiting on you. Because he knows that we will operate in fear. That's why tomorrow you have another fear not. I'm not going to use tomorrow's fear not today. Because if I fear today, I'm going to say, I don't need to fear not, for thou art with me. And tomorrow I'm going to say, I don't have to fear today, because he's still with me. And when Friday come along, I'm going to say, fear not, because he's with me.
Right.
Somebody say, every day, I'm going to say, fear not.
Every day. I say, fear not.
Number one, I'm going to walk through my valleys. Number two, I'm not going to worry while I'm in my valley. And number three, you know why I'm not going to worry while I'm in the valley? Because I have his word while I'm in my valley.
Yes.
Look at them and say, I have his word.
I have his word.
While you're in the valley, you got his word. I have his word. You people, we have God's word. We have God's word. Don't you know his word is everything?
Yes.
He said, thou art with me. He's with me. Look at your neighbor and say, is he with you?
Is he with you?
John 1, verse 1 and 2. It says, in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. Don't you know before anything happened, the Word was right there with God?
Yeah.
Now, if the Word was in the beginning, you got the Word in your presence. The Word was in the past, the Word is in my present, and the Word is in the future.
Right.
The Word is omnipresent. I got his Word. He's with me. He, the Word. He, the Word. I got the Word. Look at you there. If you got the Word,
Got the
you got
word.
Jesus.
You got Jesus.
And John 1 and 14 said, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. I got the Word. I got the flesh of the Word because I got Jesus. It said, yea, though I walk through. That means where I started from, I'm not going to end up at.
Yeah.
You may end up going through trouble, but you ain't going to. You may start out with trouble, but you ain't going to end up in trouble. Why? Because you're going through it. There's a theology of through. Through has a theology. Because you don't got to stay there. Through. Somebody say through.
Through.
I'm not going to end up there. Going through is not a period. Going through is not a period in your life. It's a comma in your life.
Amen.
And comma means a pausing, not a parking. Because you may pause while you're going through, but he paused to give you power. And you need power while you're in your valley.
Yeah, you do.
Are you listening to me? Jude 24, look what it says. It says, now unto him who is able to keep you from stumbling and present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceedingly joy. Now look at this, y'all. We're going to go back to school. Noun is a conjunction. Unto is a preposition. Him is a pronoun. That is a pronoun. Can I tell you what the Greek interpretation of this is? What it says? Him able.
Him able.
So whatever you're going through, him able. If you have a marital problem, him able. If you need a job, if your kids are acting up,
Him able.
Him downstairs.
if you're sick, look at your neighbor and say, him able.
Oh, man.
First, you have to accept the reality of your valley. And number two, you have to announce the response to your valley. And finally, you must acknowledge your resources in your valley. You have to acknowledge your resources in your valley. You have resources while you're going through, y'all.
Yes.
Don't y'all know y'all have resources? You got to start using your resources when you're going through.
Amen.
Stop going through and not using your resources.
Come on.
Because David said, I got resources. And a lot of times, people don't want to use the resources because they're too lazy. And when you're going through something, it's resources out there. You know, a lot of people, they come, they say, I'm homeless, and could you help me? So, you know, they have a place where you can stay overnight. They don't want to exercise the resources. They just want to come. Sometimes we want to jump over certain things because God has resources. At your job, they're called human
Resources.
Yeah.
Don't call the big boss, go through human resources. And if human resources can't solve it, then you. I'm not by myself. Look what I have. His rod and his staff, they comfort me.
Right.
I got a rod and a staff with me. His rod and his staff, they comfort me. While I'm in my valley, are y'all looking at Psalms 23? Look at Psalms 23. Let's go up to verse 5. He said, thou preparest a table. Now let's go back up to verse 3. He restored my soul. He leaded me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Now let's go back up to verse 2. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. Let's go back up to verse 1. The Lord.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. The Lord. Somebody said the Lord.
The Lord.
Y'all do know him, right?
Yes.
The Lord. The one that came from nowhere and stood on nothing and reached back from nowhere and caught something while standing on nothing. Somebody said the Lord.
The Lord.
That painted the sky blue
Yes.
and took a rainbow and crossed it.
Yes.
Somebody say the Lord.
The Lord.
That gave the hyena its laugh.
Yes.
Somebody say the Lord.
The Lord.
That gave the monkey its jump. Somebody say the Lord.
The Lord.
That gave the dog its bark.
The Lord.
That gave the worm its wiggle.
The Lord.
That gave the bee its buzz.
The Lord.
That gave the kangaroo its hop.
The Lord.
That gave the bunny its bunny hop.
The Lord.
David said, that Lord is with me.
Yeah.
For thou art with me.
Yes, sir.
The one that hung the sun in the sky like a gold medallion. The Lord. The one that sprinkled the stars in the sky. Somebody say the Lord.
The Lord.
And gave you a night like the moon. Somebody say the Lord.
The Lord.
When you get in trouble, he's with you. Now, sometimes the Lord changes his position. Don't you know the Lord changes his position? When you get in trouble, as long as things are going well, he's leading us.
Yeah.
He's leading me. In verse 2, he leads me beside the still water.
Yeah.
In verse 3, he leads me in the path of righteousness. And when I really get it all together, he gets behind me and say, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. But when I get in my valley, he's not ahead of me. He's not behind me. He's right with me.
Amen.
He's right with me. And then he's right with you. He's right with you. He's not behind you. He's not leading you. He's right with you.
Yes, God.
And when I'm in the valley, I got the Lord's present. And if you got his present, who can mess with you?
Yeah.
Who can mess with you when you got his presence? No demon can take you out when you're in his presence.
That's good news.
Because in his presence, it's the fullness of joy. And this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. And the world can't take it away.
Amen.
It depends on who gives you your joy. Because a person can give you something and they can take it away. But when the Lord gives you something, he's not an Indian giver. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. And the world can't take back nothing that they didn't give. He didn't give me this peace that I have. And And this peace that I have, it passes all understanding.
Yes.
Yes.
A crook can't destroy you because you got his presence. Sickness can't take you over because you got his presence. And if you got his presence, that means you got his protection.
Yeah.
And you don't got his protection, like people put a fake sign in their yard, say the house is protected by an alarm. How can an alarm protect somebody from doing you bodily harm?
Right.
I got his presence. That means no weapon that is formed against me can prosper. Why? Because I have his presence.
Amen.
If I got his presence, I have his protection.
Yes.
And if I got his protection, that means I have his power. Because security guard, they may have the authority to tell you to stop, but they may not use force.
Yeah.
So you got to understand, a lot of times, as a security guard, you can't do nothing while they're in the store stealing, right?
Right.
You got to wait till they leave the store.
Yeah, they got to leave.
Then, if they get too far, you only can do so much.
Not past 10 feet, though.
Yes.
Can't leave
See,
your
your
post.
authority limits you, right?
Yes, sir. But when you got all power.
But when you got all power, your authority, you're not just limited by your authority. See, when the police get behind you, when the red lights can't stop your brakes. No, when the police get behind you, red lights can't make you put on brakes. But the city of Los Angeles said, when red lights get behind you, you better pull over.
That's the power of God.
And if the red lights don't stop you, they got something that will.
Right.
They got a taser. If that don't stop you, they got a billy club. They got mace. And if none of that stop you, then they going to use deadly force. And you don't want the city of LA to use deadly force. And sometimes people can misuse their power.
And will.
And all I'm saying, God don't have to misuse his power because he got all power. He don't got some power because some people misuse some power. But God can't misuse all power because all power belongs to God.
Amen.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Because he promised, I have his presence, I have his protection, I have his power, and I also have his promise.
Yes.
Because he promised never to leave me. He promised never to leave me nor forsake me. He'll walk with you. Won't he hold your hand?
Yeah, he will.
Won't he guide your feet?
Yes.
David is talking about the Lord, and he is talking to the Lord, and then he is talking with the Lord. I remember when I was young. Remember when you were young, you used to say, my daddy can beat your daddy up?